and I'm going to show you how to do Analyzing Poetry Part 2. So you guys already did this Part 1 of this assignment, so Part 2 is pretty much exactly the same. It's just different things that you guys are analyzing. So after I'm done with the video, it'll show up right here, but yeah, if you're watching the video, obviously you know what the directions are. So for the first slide 2, you guys are going to get you're starting with poem 5 because the other assignment ended with poem 4, so you're continuing with that assignment, so that's why that says 5. So your first poem that you're going to analyze is The Fog. And so on this side, you're going to write at least 3 notes of something that you notice about the poem. It could be anything, so you can say, like I said, I always use this example, but it doesn't rhyme. It's mainly just because everybody thinks poems need to rhyme. So you're going to write that as notes right here. Then a theme, you're going to tell me what do you think the theme of the poem is about. So what is the author trying to say with his poem? After you've done that, you're going to go ahead and click present, and then you're going to click where it says here. And that's going to take you to a place that's going to explain what does that poem actually mean. This is going to be helpful to read because it explains, like, you're going to have a task in the next part, and the task is a lot easier if you know exactly what they're supposed to be saying. So go ahead and exit out of there. Your first poetry writing task is going to be a metaphor poem. So a metaphor is a direct comparison that does not use like or as. So you're going to write a short poem in which you use a metaphor to represent nature and reveal the truth about life. This is practice, you guys. I'm not expecting like glorious metaphors or amazing poetry. We're just practicing, so don't put too much pressure on yourself. If you need to look up what metaphor is, I advise, like, if you are having trouble with metaphor, go to the website where it's explaining the fog analysis because it's going to explain metaphor. Then on slide 6, you're going to go ahead and explain your poem. Just make sure you answer these questions here. For poem 6, you do the same thing. You read, you take notes, you tell me what you think the poem is about. You go to present, then you click here and read about the poem. And then you get to task 6, and task 6 is a question and answer poem. So you're going to write a poem that contains a question and an answer that reveals an insight about life. Then on the side 11, you're going to explain that poem. So this is a longer assignment, so just remember that you have 2 days to complete this. You do not have to rush through it. That's why this slide is there. So yeah, just a reminder. So for poem 7, you have The Idiot, and this is a poem right here. You're going to do the same thing, 3 notes. Then on slide 14, you're going to tell me what do you think they're trying to say. Then you go to the next slide and you read about what they're trying to say. Your next task is going to be poems about parents. So you're going to write a short poem about your relationship with your parents or guardians. And you can even do siblings. It does not have to be just your parents. It can be, siblings and things like that. And then you're going to explain your poem. And then the last one you guys are going to do, poem number 8. It's going to be the haiku. It's the one everybody knows about. So you got the haiku right here. What do you first notice about the poem? So you got 3 notes here. Then what is the poem about? Then you're going to click here for more information about the haiku. Then you're going to write a haiku. So you're going to write that right here. If you don't know what a haiku is, it's 5-7-5, and so 5 syllables, 7 syllables and 5 syllables. After you've done that, you go ahead and explain your poem. So this assignment is pretty easy. You're just following the directions on each slide, and you're getting a bunch of practice with writing different types of poems. Because a lot of people think there are one type of poem and it has to do certain things, but that's not the case. Poetry is very broad. There's lots of different forms of poetry, and it really depends on the writer themselves. So this is just opening your eyes to the different kinds of poems that there are. And then once you get to this slide, slide 23, you're going to go click on here to get to your digital notebook number 2. You're going to complete page 10. If you're missing page 10 or there's not the question on page 10, just let me know and I'll fix it. And then don't forget to hit turn in. So if you have any questions with this assignment, you can ask me on Remind, you can ask me in a Google Meet, you can ask me on private Google comments. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.